Hello, friends.
Hi, guys.
How are we doing?
Hey, man.
So we are now on episode 48, and I have yet to get a fucking picture of Mao. And
So we just wanted to start today on a very somber note and realize that it is not happening for you.
No, it's not. So all of the final forms have been leaked, apparently. Not leaked, I should say. One Julio, our friend in the Discord,
Was able to come up with
found an Instagram post of all the final forms, and it looks pretty legit. Like, it looks pretty official thing. And Michinaga's is just Jimeiri, and it says Buffa Mao.
I don't know, man. I really wanted this to be not the case, but yeah.
So
okay. The fever buckle gives you the complete Buffa form, right?
Yep. Which he had before he ever had Jimeiri. We're just not going to throw that out there, but okay. It's super fever. That's literally all it is. The only thing it added was his horns and the cape. That's the only thing it added.
Maybe it's because of his Jimeiri power. You know what I mean?
Too powerful. That's what it is.
Right. Let's say because for some reason they allowed him to keep his invulnerability against Kamen Riders. That's pretty much broken, when it comes to fighting anybody else, right?
It's broken until literally anything else comes to fight him.
And that's my point. But it's I'm sorry.
You know what that turns him into? It turns him into Geetz's punching bag to kick off him and do cool shit. That's what it turns him into. And you know what? The secondary rider deserves better than that. So
it really does. But it could be. It could be. Well, I am scared because now I think that his final form will be Kitbashi as shit, especially if it's a movie.
Yes, I mean they've all been really Kitbashi. Even this last Gazer form is
very
Kitbashi.
For the movies, they tend to crank that up to 11.
Yes, but also Geetz has been the best example of a kit bashing, I think. I think they are the best versions of kit bashing that we've seen possibly ever. Yeah, I would say so anyway.
I'm not going to argue that.
Yeah.
It's taken the group to open my eyes to how much kit bashing actually goes on in this and the degrees therein. Like what looks good and what doesn't. So I agree. This has been, at least for me, the most pleasing. I mean, the fantasy form alone. I like. You
know what? I am very, very upset about Buffa Mao, but I got fantasy, so I'm okay. I am not ready to jump out my window. So Keiwa is just whatever to you. He could have and couldn't have. Bujin sword is fine. It's cool. I get it. It's not for me. That's all it is.
Fair.
Yeah,
I got you.
It's what I expected from his final form, basically. Except maybe a transition to a good version. It has big Evility vibes to me, to be honest. Except cool versions of it. I feel like when people think of Evility and Holy Live and all that shit, that's what's in my brain. That kind of I don't know how to, I'm explaining this badly, but the cool factor of Bujin is how I feel people that really like Evility see Evility kind of thing. It does a lot of the same cool stuff. So except flying, that's the only thing it doesn't do.
I follow. I think that again, they Geetz really fumbled it. Really did.
Geetz fumbled it by having the best fucking form. I
hate that I feel like that. It sucks because there was a way out. They had time to fix it.
Yeah.
But they kept digging and digging and why? Why are we here now? Why are we upset? How can we be upset about not getting a final form for a character who deserves it, but why are we this upset when we got everything else we wanted? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know why.
For me, it's pure unadulterated personal bias.
but it's legit because it's there's no. If you can tell me that they found BS plot lines to give Daichi a redemption arc. You know what I mean? In 4 or 5 scenes.
And an actual final form.
You can expunge Daichi from the entire ending of the fucking show and give that time to Buffa.
Yeah. Honestly, so here's theory crafting, right? Say this, maybe Daichi is there, right? Like he's there, but he first releases the parasite Jamato, and that's pretty much the end of it, right? Like him pretty much in the stairwell with his weird Jamato form. That's the end of it. Cool. We don't really see much of Daichi. And that's when we discover the Helheim tree that is fucking the human memory, whatever. And then Michinaga's obsession with redemption from killing Sakura, that's her name, right? Sarah. There you go. Sarah, Sakura, whatever, same shit. His fall from grace, right? Like his I have to fix this would be utilizing that power from the beginning in a way that he would see as the correct way to use Jamato abilities. And like, you know, the entire theme of the Jamato Grand Prix was him using them to get his world, right? Like that was the whole point of it. He was just using the Jamato people, and it kind of would harken back to that in this idea that like now he's going to bend the Jamato to a way to help people. And I think if they did something like that, it would have been a lot more powerful than Clown Joker Bitch Boy coming back and just being a fucking useless character for 5 episodes. Like everyone's mad at Keiwa and no one is talking about Daichi. Like I'm kind of annoyed about that, honestly.
The second I saw this whole plot line with the tree thing, I'm like, that's going to be a thing, and I'm going to be upset no matter how they play it out. Because there's only one way that works, and if they don't do it that way, then forget it.
Yeah, and I don't think they're doing it that way. I haven't seen the newest episode, but I don't think they're doing it that way. But my thing is like, just, okay, Buffa already has that tie to the Jamato. He spent a whole time at the Jamato Grand Prix doing all this. Everyone's kind of splintering off and doing their own thing. This should have been, how do I take the Jamato, this weird piece of the, you know, the Grand Prix people, I guess, the future people. How do I take that and use it against them? Because, like, obviously his whole thing is dismantling the Grand Prix, you know? So, like, I think that would have been a more interesting last arc for Buffa, and then they kind of come together, him and Keiwa, and have their spit at the end of that, than him just being like, hit me, daddy. He went ultra fucking ego. And it was like, just hit me. Just fucking hit me. I don't hate it. It's fine. It's just, it could have been so much better.
Yeah.
And like, we have 2 episodes left, and I doubt they're going to pull something out their ass for him in the last 2 episodes.
Honestly, they're not.
Yeah, like we would have seen a scan or something by now if he was going to get something.
We would have seen something. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
But at the same token, I think that the fact that they've gone this far and they haven't wrapped up the plot.
Yeah.
Like, there's not even the final threat. You know, well,
there is. He showed up a little while ago, but he's coming back.
Let me walk that back. He's there, but he hasn't become the final threat until, I guess, whatever.
The end of this episode, I guess.
Right. So, like, they're doing a drive. They're doing a utopia. They're doing all this shit again. For what?
For 3 extra episodes, because they probably needed more time to make Gotchard.
Yeah.
Printing cards is very expensive, folks.
And I don't know, man.
Should we just get Gotchard out of the way too? Why not? Just let's fucking talk about some Kamen Rider Gotchard. Because
so
there's
this whole premise has been so hype for me.
Yeah. Like we saw that preview, and that was like the preview, the first thing where he does the clap. And he goes, gotcha. And I was like, yo, that's fucking hype. I love this beat. I love this vibe. I'm here for all of it. And then we started getting the movie clips.
The trailers.
And the movie clips. And they had the press conference. So a couple nights ago, as of this recording, if you guys are watching in the future times, as of this recording, it's been about a week or so since the press conference, a little bit less. I think it was like Thursday. We're on Sunday now. And yeah.
Well, let me be fair. It feels like a shonen rider. It feels like it has every vibe of Card Captor Blue Guy. You know what I mean? Like
Card Captoro, whatever the fuck, you know, card game, Bakugan, whatever you want to do.
And I think mentally, while I was ready to accept that, I don't think I really am just yet because of how pissed off I am at Geats. So like,
Okay.
I feel like Gotchard is gonna get a short thing from me because of how bitter I feel right now, and like I'm trying to put myself in the, I'm a 6-year-old again.
Yeah.
This is a new rider. This is not supposed to be super dark, I don't think, because it doesn't feel.
It could get fucking dark though. We saw how dark Full Metal gets, okay?
Right,
and that was Alchemy 2.
It feels very shonen, and that's pretty much where I'm at right now. And I don't know if I'm quite ready for Forza 2, unless they sell me on it. And right now, I don't know. How do you feel about Gotchard's enemies?
Yeah. So I like everything about Gotchard. Everything about it. Card-based. I love card-based things. If you guys listen to the show at all, like you guys know, Blade's my favorite. I love card-based stuff in general. I play Yu-Gi-Oh! All that shit. We talk about Magic all the time. I don't play that one because that's too big brain and adult for me. I want dumb anime bullshit. No, you absolutely know I would play it the second I fucking actually learned it. But yeah, I'm on Kit all day. Come on now. I really like his kick. I think his henshin's kind of cool. The actual like transformation, I should say, when I say henshin. The henshin dance pose, whatever you want to call it, pretty cool. I don't hate it. It's fine. It's very simple.
It's 2 hand gestures.
Yep. He goes like this, and this. That's it. And then he just it's fine. Then it's like simplicity. It's cool. I'm here for it. I like the suit a lot. I like Steam Hopper. I think it's a great suit. I think that suit still looks fantastic, especially in the trailer. I think it still looked great. Little annoyed that Beat didn't come back for the trailer, but that's okay. That doesn't mean it's gone. That could just be like we were talking about insert songs when I'm doing the Y videos. It could be insert song stuff. That could be the whole vibe of the in-between songs, and I'm here for it if it is. I
hope so.
I love the kick. I thought the kick was really fucking cool.
Very different.
Very different. Yeah, and he does the on like one hand thing. I thought it was very cool. The Steam Liner and Hopper Chemis kind of like doing their thing. Fine, whatever. I don't care about that. It is what it is. You guys know how I feel about CG. At least big dumb CG things like that. It's fine.
What about Hopper? Do you like the little Pikachu?
Hopper being the fucking like the fucking J bug. Yeah. Oh, he's literally the fucking J grasshopper and J and fucking Zeto. It's like literally the same fucking thing, and I think that's great. That's why I loved it. I was like, oh shit, we're bringing back the 90s. And like the two guys, so we saw the purple and white dude who we thought was Decade for a second. We saw him, and then we saw the first like enemy, right? Im is saying the amalgam we saw in the trailer reminds me of an Egyptian mummy. Hell yeah.
Maybe they're Yu-Gi-Oh rejects.
I'm down for that. I like ancient Egypt aesthetic. I'm fucking here for it.
Yo.
Just saying.
Yo.
They were big into alchemy too. That's all I'm saying.
If we get a tertiary rider, Joey Wheeler.
Yo. His helmet just has fucking Tristan's hair. Oh my god, that'd be fucking great. If one of them walks out with a Millennium Puzzle, I'm done. I'm fucking done if someone walks out with a Millennium Puzzle.
It's the only thing.
It's the actual Bandai like figure art puzzle too, like the plastic model puzzle.
Oh no, it's Bakura. That's who we get. we just get Bakura.
I've returned from the Shadow Realm.
It's the end of you, Yugi. I have my change of heart card. That was your gambit, bro? Really?
Yeah.
You realize that I don't follow the rules.
Yeah.
So
you know my Millennium Puzzle makes the heart of the cards bullshit, right? Okay. Okay. They all have their own power. Mine is to make bullshit happen. I don't know if you knew that. So there you go.
But the Egyptian aesthetic does kind of allude to this whole like. So this is something from like the ancient alchemy past, and this is going to be like
ancient science, astronaut bullshit. And I'm putting a solid $20 because I don't have a lot of money on the fact that the Philosopher's Stone will ignite his final form. I am putting hard money on that. That the I'm calling it now. Apparently, we were real good at predictions with Revice. The Philosopher's Stone will 100% be his final form in some version.
Well, that is obviously going to be the unlocking thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like this whole aspect of the crucible for him, so to speak. So like every form is a fusion of X, Y, and Z. And if you're thinking, so what are the elements here? We have alchemy, we have the Pokemon, we have this Egyptian influence. Where does that all kind of lead you?
He's gonna have a pharaoh mode. If he has a fucking pharaoh form, I'm done.
That's where I'm taking you, bro. This is going to end up the heart of the cards type of Egyptian.
If he just fucking kicks open the door and Slifer, Ra, and Obelisk are behind him, oh my god.
Well, it's
game over. Best rider. He'll trump Blade if that fucking happens. If he just like kicks open the door, Millennium Puzzle, 3 Egyptian gods, and he's like, "Fuck you."
I've come to win. I haven't come to play.
I've come to duel.
Dude, give me your driver.
Give me your fucking driver. So yeah, like I love all of the things I'm seeing, and then Gotchard is not in his suit. And he gives me big Trigger protagonist vibes. And I don't like that because I don't like Trigger's human protagonist.
If you're talking about appearance, he looks very...
And it's just like an energy. I don't know how to describe it. Like he's one step below going, Trigger! Like in my brain.
I saw Gentaro, man. I saw Gentaro all over again. And I'm like, fuck. Here we go again with this.
But like, I'm okay with that. Like before, I have my issues with Forza. I do want to rewatch it. It's on the list. But like, I'm okay because we've had some pretty heavy seasons, especially Geats. It got pretty heavy at some points. I'm okay with a lighter hearted season if they do it correctly. You got to sprinkle in the dark in there. You know, like I want some dark chocolate sprinkles in my ice cream sundae. Okay, that's what I want.
I'm down for that. It's true. I am always down to be fucking emotionally destroyed.
Yeah.
But I'm always down for that. But because I didn't get the degree or the resolution that I really wanted out of Geats, you got to give me time, man. This is like when Time was over and Drive started, and now we love Drive.
Yeah.
But it's like, but my Gaim, what did you do to my Gaim?
Yeah.
Like my Geats, what did you do to my Geats? Why did you do this? Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm gonna let it go. Just give me a week.
Yeah. No, it definitely has to. I think it has to like start super fun and stay fun for a few weeks to like palate cleanse. You know what I mean? Like we can't be like, oh yeah, super fun, dark heavy backstory, and it's like, okay, come on.
The Hopper thing says its name like a Pokemon. I'm like, okay, that's cute. We're starting there. Okay, like
let's befriend some chemies for a few weeks, and then we'll get into the dark shit. All right.
Yeah, I mean, based on the trailers, we should say, the cast seems to be made of like this order of already knowing people. So we're skipping the whole
Yeah, there seems to be like a Hogwarts for alchemists, essentially, that he joins.
Yeah, okay. I was trying to figure out like where they were going with
There's
that.
a subbed version of the trailer out now you can check out.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's essentially he goes from normal boy high school to, oh, you have this, all of the alchemists have these rings, and either they're going to be the Philosopher's Stone in there kind of thing, or he's going to get a Philosopher's Stone, whatever. But then he joins Alchemist Hogwarts, and that's kind of how this goes.
Here's the rings are going to have fractions of the Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they're either going to be pieces of the Philosopher's Stone, and then he's going to join them all together or some shit like that, and join the houses if there's multiple houses.
He's going to take all the rings, and then Wizard's going to be like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah.
What are you doing,
He's going to put a ring on each hand, and then you're going to see lightning shoot up his arm, and he's going
Speaking of Thanos, I'm glad you remade your dude just at the end.
Yeah, so I'm going to talk about that real quick before we get on to today's subject. But that's Gotchard. It's fine. I just
it's like... Not fine.
You're not fine. I'm more fine than you are, which means I'm probably going to hate it a lot more than you are. But that's beside, because that's always how it fucking works. It always seems to be like, I'm okay with this, or no, I'm not down with this unless it's Revice. I just fucking hated that from the get go. That didn't change my. There was definitely a couple episodes where I was like, am I starting to like this? And then they just. Nope. I like Veil though. I like that. I like Veil. That's neat. Yeah. So yeah. But let's. Before we get into that, I started a little ditty. Some of you guys may know. So over on twitch.tv/KaijuKaro, we stream some games. If it's not Toku stuff, we're streaming games and things. I started a little thing called Baldur's Gate 3. And if you guys aren't familiar with that, it's literally D&D the video game. They have quite literally adapted D&D into a visual video game that you can play. And I don't mean like visual novel. I mean, it's literally like a strategic RPG, but you're playing your character and you pick their stats and origins and stuff like that. It's wild. And
It is wild. No, don't sell that short. So, for example, you know how little experience I have with D&D other than you guys and everything. Okay. Yep. So the bit that you've dabbled, I haven't even dabbled.
Okay.
But watching you play this, like,
you kind of get it, right?
This is the environment that it's supposed to create. This is the kind of like the mental space that you're supposed to give yourself. And then I'm like, okay. And then I go and watch something like fucking Vox Machina, and it's like the same kind of like idea where you take this created world and just
go fucking ham in it.
Go for it. And I'm like, but how does that play? And I'm seeing it, and I'm like, fuck.
Yeah. And I'm like, how does this play? And I'm playing it and still going, I don't know what's happening. So basically we spent an hour and 15 minutes creating a character, because there's also a lot of options. The character creator is very deep. I was very surprised.
Right.
Like every time I was like, oh yeah, I like that. And then we'd find like another slider or another fucking button. I'd be like, oh wait, hang on. Pause.
I mean,
what do you mean piercings?
Be a whole day of fucking shifting and shooting and all that.
Yeah. I've easily going to spend an entire day as I'm healing from my tattoo tomorrow, just spending that character creator. But like, that's also, I feel like, the core nugget people grasp onto for D&D, right? Like creating a character, creating their character is more importantly like the big emphasis, right? So being surrounded by a bunch of people really into D&D, Hollywood Zach, if you guys know him from the Ranger Command Power Hour podcast, he's super into D&D. He's been on the show a couple times too. I have a couple like personal friends and outside of Twitter spheres and all that are super into D&D. My cousin Josh, the old host for the show, he's super into D&D. He's the one we tried to play with. I'm surrounded by people that are very good and are experienced with D&D. So I was like, hey, like what would be a good, choice for starting? Like where do I start? And that was kind of the idea. And honestly, because a lot of RPGs in video games take their origins from D&D, a lot of the mental pathways kind of line up. So usually when I don't know what I'm doing in an RPG, I'm gonna go tanky strength boy. I can survive, I can take a couple hits, I can figure it out. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of the plan.
Yeah,
like,
I got you.
I'm not gonna go in with like twin daggers when I don't know a fucking Souls game the first time, because I'm not that kind of ballsy. At least not out the gate. By the end of the run, I might be twin daggers. Who knows? Because I get weird sometimes.
Listen, I started off with the twin Prince's greatsword, and I found it hard to do anything else. So I understand. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, no, I went into Dark Souls 1 planning a dex build. That was a terrible choice.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
I went shieldless katana, 2 hands, for the entire run until I got gold and silver tracer. And then I went dual knives, and I was like, this game is not meant to move this quickly. I had the wood ring. I was flipping around. I had the ring of favor and the wood ring. I was flipping around like crazy, slashing fucks up. Yeah, let's go. It was great. I want them back. Please bring them back. I like those knives. They were cool. They were cool as fuck.
It breaks the game.
It's great, though. But getting back to Baldur's Gate. So long story short, you guys can go watch the video on demand if you really want to see the full breakdown and shenanigans we were having with it. We settled on a half-orc barbarian. And I found out that there's more skin tone options than what they originally present to you because, like I said, there's menus inside of menus. So, yeah, like as we're choosing, I was like, I'm going to go with this kind of like muted green. And then we clicked a box and the entire fucking color palette opened. And that's when I was like, oh, we can go purple. Hello. So I'm doing this, and then, we go back and forth. I find some hair. I find a nice beard. Actually, I didn't even have the beard at this point. I didn't see the facial hair thing. So I was just going back and forth, but I found face paint. I was like, that's dope. Let's see what this is. And then there's one that has lines coming up the chin. And, being a half orc, he's got the bulldog underbite, he's got the tusks sticking out because he's a half orc. I get it. It's cool. And then these lines come up and I went, I fucking made Thanos.
That was great.
I fucking made Thanos. So we went back to skin colors. went with a nice deep dark green, and I went, that's more orky. Let's do that. Daka Daka. You know what I'm saying? Let's get full Warhammer with it.
It makes the most sense. Plus, blood for the blood.
Blood for the blood god, yes. And that's the barbarian aspect for it. So we did that. And essentially, he's a very dumb character, but he loves to hug people. He's a very charismatic boy for being a barbarian, to be fair.
And I know we mentioned it while you were streaming, but I legit took a couple things to think about. When did they introduce Eldritch shit into D&D?
So they've always had Eldritch shit. Like the Mind Flayer is that's where the Cthulhu dudes, the Cthulhu sorcerers flying around were Mind Flayers.
And I'm like, what the fuck is that?
And remember, like Stranger Things takes place in the 70s. They know what Mind Flayers are. They've been around in D&D for a minute.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I didn't know there was fucking full-on Cthulhu spaceships. I didn't know there were space elves that ride dragons. I didn't know there were space elves, period, that are literally traveling in the cosmos and just happen to crash land here. Githyanti are a thing. They're a thing, and they're very upset.
I like that. It surprised me, and I like that this game is going to be fun to watch you play.
Yes,
and play. I say, in also discovering. Attacking is like 45 steps. And
yes,
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
It's funny because I feel like this is going to be one of those things where, like, as I learn and get more comfortable, I'm going to want to like role play the character more. Like I was talking about how like I wanted to talk to animals so I could hug all the animals, and then I wanted to talk to trees because I wanted to hug all the trees, and like you
wanted to throw an empty tree trunk at somebody. That's what really
same thing. I wanted to hug it, and then we decided, his personality is going to be, I'm going to hug you until you swing back, and then he's going to squeeze a little harder, and then he's going to keep squeezing until you snap.
Yeah, a lot of love.
Yeah, I love you so much. I love you so much. Will you be my friend?
You are big dum dum. You are big dum dum.
Yeah, I had a intelligence of 8. I'm pretty sure 10 is average. A little bit below average. Okay, but I love really hard. So
I make up for that.
Yeah. So as we're playing, again, I'm learning there's movement steps, there's actions and attacking. They're two different things. There's also multiple forms of attacking. He has a lacerate that causes bleed, which is like extra blood dot damage kind of thing. I found out later that you can throw things from your inventory at people. Or things that are nearby. So any of those chests and things that were possibly corpses too, if I had enough strength, I might be able to just hurl them at people. This is what I'm saying is the more I learn this game, the easier it's going to be for me to like role play the character in fun situations. Which is really cool. And I think one of the coolest aspects of it, which we didn't really get to play with it too much, because again, I'm still learning all of this. There's Twitch integration in this game. So like I can hit a button and you guys help me decide, whoever's hanging out in chat, help me decide what option to choose outside of just like talking in the chat. You can literally hit like a widget on the screen and it'll choose. You can see my character and their loadout, my party members, all that fun stuff. So it's really cool. Yeah. And it's just like playing it after we sank like almost 4 hours into that fucking thing. That was one of the longest streams I've had in a minute.
That was quick too. I was like, wait, what just happened?
Yeah, like that's the thing. It went really fast. I was like, holy shit, it's fucking almost 11:30. Holy shit. And I feel like that's how real D&D goes too. But I was also like, I get it. Like this is what I needed, I think, to like, because D&D has always been a thing where I'm interested, right? Like, it's really cool to me to make your own character. Really cool. Like, the worlds are just interesting. Like, I like medieval stuff. I'm down for it. I fucking love Vikings, obviously. Things like that. And, like, I was talking to my one buddy about doing I don't know how far you got in Vinland Saga. You might have met Bjorn. He is a man who... You met Bjorn. Okay. You met Bjorn. Bet. So I was talking to him about... Because there's a drunken fist class. There's literally a drunken master fucking monk class. I was talking to him about potentially doing like a barbarian that drops mushrooms and just goes fucking crazy. So he gets that rage thing I would activate as a barbarian times like 3, but he'll attack whatever the closest fucking thing is to him. Got it. So we were talking about fun things like that. And that's kind of where like I see how deep a hole D&D can get, because you can do homebrews, you can do all kinds of fun stuff. You can do, if you get someone who's like a really good DM and familiar with it, you can do all kinds of crazy scenarios. And like, I get it. And I think I just needed something like this because it's hard for me and I think even when I play D&D, because it's going to happen eventually, I think, especially with this game, I would need like the board and the figures to kind of visualize it a little bit. You know what I mean? Like it's
that helps a lot.
Yeah, like it's very hard for me to like sit here and we just sit on like a Zoom call like this and just like talk. That's hard for me.
But that's, I guess, doing it repeatedly, you won't even need the peripherals.
No, but it also helps me visualize. I think it, again, right now, it helps me visualize like how close something is to me, how many steps I can take to get, movement turns, that kind of stuff. Because that plays a factor, guys. You have to be so close to swing your axe. You have to be within reach of your axe. You can't just like run up, smack him, and run back to your spot turn-based style. I mean, I could probably throw it. I did pick up a javelin and I never tried throwing it, to be fair.
Now I know what's happening in the next play.
Yep, I'm throwing every cup and thing that I find. I'm going to try and grab a body and hurl it if I have to.
If you can throw anything, just start small, man.
Every time I'm going to be able to, I think I'm just going to grab someone and try and bear hug them. I don't think that's an actual attack, but there is throw. You could literally like shove people and they go flying back. It's kind of cool. Because you can throw them into like pitfalls and stuff. Like you can throw them off cliffs. I've seen that in trailers and things. You can. That would be my strategy. Yeah. That would be my strategy. Yeah, like you just run up and fucking push them off a cliff.
He's a level 40.
He's fucking dead is what he is. Yep. So like,
is that a death knight? It is a death knight with death touch, and if you go near him, the miasma will sap your lunch. Shove. Okay.
I should also mention our half orc barbarian. His name is Orc Carl.
I thought it was Orcal. That's how you pronounce it.
It's Orc Carl.
All right, my bad. That's even better.
Or Carl. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it.
Or Carl. Yeah, no, I'm really excited to explore more of that game, especially as my like goofball barbarian, because like I'm just invested in him now. But also just like explore the other things, like Mike Akuma Luck, who stops into the Twitch all the time. You guys should go check him out. Twitch.tv/Akuma Luck. He's very into RPGs like this. Like he's usually the one who gets me into RPGs. And we're going to plan a multiplayer stream where I'm going to do a sassy fucking Dragonborn bard where I just like loot at people and like buff my dudes. And like they have an ability that just like you insult someone so bad they miss their fucking damage throws and stuff.
You just throw them off their game. I love it.
Yeah, it's like vigorous insult or something like that. And you're just like, you fucking idiot. And they're just like, and debuff.
Perfect.
I love it.
Like I don't know. The more I think it was the other day, I joined a lab and he was breaking down all this stuff about D&D, and I'm trying to follow. And I know that the options are so. How do I put this? The ability to think of a build for anything was impressive.
Yeah.
Like I think he was coming up with the basis for who riders would fight, like fighters, and then it would be like X skill, Y skill for like a build.
Oh,
like
he was doing like a Kamen Rider like homebrew kind of thing.
Yeah, Drive was one, and it was like that would. I don't know. I again, it's all stuff that's like I'm trying to follow.
A foreign language to you, yes.
Kind of, because it's like I'm dumb, but I'm not that dumb. Like I would get it. But for some reason,
it's one of those things where, like, I was talking about a little bit on the stream too. Like, I'm super into Warhammer. If you guys don't know, like, I've talked about Warhammer. It's blood for the blood gods. If you guys don't fucking know, look it up. Right. And like watching a game of Warhammer gives me a very similar feeling. I'm like, I know all of these words. I know all of these terms. I don't know the context of them though. So I kind of don't really know what's happening. I know there's like a shooting phase, a psychic phase, all of this kind of stuff. Like, I know the general progression. I just don't know the context of the way things are happening. And that's where I'm like, I gotta be at like a game. I gotta like get my hands in there, I think, to really understand it.
And D&D is so expansive that you literally can come up with a build for anything.
Literally fucking anything.
And then drop it in a world created from any, it's just, oh, got you. All right, here we go.
Ready? What if they made a world ruled by some weird action figure man that is super fucking anime and from the wet dream of Masahiro Inoue?
Yeah, what if you fell in love with this show that you did where you were like the main guy and you like couldn't think of anything else for the next 20 years. And then they said, hey, what if you play a game of D&D where you can make your own kind of knockoff dude and do it in a world where it's all cell phones and anime?
Yeah. That's a little thing. I'm never gonna fucking get this name correctly, so I have to pull it up because this is fucking ridiculous. Sentika F8ABA6.
Jisariz. Respectfully.
Yeah,
okay.
respectfully.
And I want to come at this with what the fuck did we see?
Okay. So last week we talked about fan films and indie tokusatsu. This is Masahiro Inoue's fucking fan film of himself. That's I literally spent this thing is 12 episodes and clearly setting up for a second season, which he's probably gonna make. And it felt like 12 episodes of him masturbating at me.
Masturbating. He was fellating himself. He was fellating himself.
He just full like yoga posed that shit.
He was yoga posing, fold, and watching you watch him the whole time.
Yeah. No, he definitely had a mirror. Yeah, you're right. He definitely had like a fucking mirror, and then he had like a glass to sniff his own fart kind of thing.
Let me ask you this real quick.
Yeah.
This is the second I finished it. Why?
The second I finished it, I went, what the fuck? What the actual fuck?
Why did he make this if it looks like the entirety of this whole thing was to build up to a season 2? Just make a movie.
Yep.
Just make a movie. Do the plot of the second season that you're so hyped to get to. Do this season 1 as little fucking flashbacks in that movie, and you're set, because nothing in here mattered.
Nope.
Nothing mattered.
And they put questions in there that I was really expecting them to just like expo dump at the end. None of it mattered. So I guess if you guys are gonna watch this, it's on YouTube. You can watch the whole thing on YouTube right now.
Don't give him any money.
It's GGE channel or something like. Just look up Sentika F8ABA6. It's in the title. Just copy and paste. I'm not gonna remember what the fuck it is. So if you want to watch it, it's all on YouTube. And it's.
Let's back up.
No, I'm not going to back up because I'm going to fucking talk about this right now.
I feel like you're going to hate bomb it, and I don't want to.
I don't know, because there is things I actually did genuinely like in this show. It's just a lot of it was fucking clouded by him splurging into my eyeball. So yeah, I feel like I'm covered in Inoue. Like I feel like I need a shower.
It's gross. It's not a good feeling. That's the thing. It's a weird
feeling. It's a weird fucking feeling. And like, okay, I'm going to sum this up, but you know what? We are going to go back. But I'm going to sum this up how I feel about it, right? The stuff in the suits, pretty cool. The CG, surprisingly cool. I actually enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to. Outside of the suits, feels like a fucking cringy Instagram page where they repost all this anime cringy shit. Like oh my God, the direction when they're outside of the suits is just the most try-hard shit I've ever seen in my life.
Dante, look at me. Inoue was playing discount Dante the entire time. He was this, I am super cool to be cool because everything I do is pre-calculated. And yet
he literally calls himself a genius strategist that is good at not talking. And then all he fucking does for 12 episodes is talk.
Who is Ayako? Why is she here? Because she's
you
like this
Ayuka? Yeah.
Ayuka, whatever. Her MacGuffin-ness. She is the MacGuffin.
She's literally the MacGuffin.
A living MacGuffin that has no character. It ends up with PTSD, Stockholm Syndrome, because this guy literally... Okay, so when we said it's anime as fuck, it is not Cardcaptor anime. It is Death Note anime. It is like the most presumptuous shit.
It's not Death Note, because Death Note had a fucking purpose and was well thought out. Okay, this shit is fucking. Have you ever heard of Soul Eater?
Yeah,
not Soul Eater. I'm sorry, Soul Taker. I'm sorry, Soul Taker. No. Okay.
Soul Taker.
This is one of my favorite animes that I've never fucking finished because it's fucking weird. I think that's what it's called. Hang on, anime. There we go. Yeah, it is Soul Taker.
And it is
no. It is one of the most experimental, weird ass animes that I have ever seen. And the farthest I've gotten is like 6 episodes. Couldn't tell you what the fuck it's about.
From 2001.
2001. Imagine a experimental as fuck. So you see how like these pictures are very super like the kind of lighting. I like the super dramatic lighting. The entire thing is like that, but they start shifting colors and all that kind of stuff randomly. Imagine Outlaw Star. You know how they kind of do that, how they shift colors and play with the colors of the world. Imagine that, but just done for like pure experimentation.
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
You would hate it.
No.
I love it. I love that you would hate it. I kind of want to watch it just because you would hate it. But like that's what this felt like, where it's this crazy fucking ridiculous thing that is trying so hard to be like experimental and cool that like it kind of comes off like we could have dialed it back like 3 notches and I would have been fine.
So basically why we're saying that is because he actually has to, the rules from what I understand of this world, okay? She gets isekai'd into this in-between phase of existence where she...
Some weird future existence place, Matrix.
She can transport from world to world where each of these knockoff riders live.
Let's call them Makai Knights because I feel like that's a better comparison.
Yeah, I couldn't... Yeah, Keitai Henka makes no sense. What does that mean?
Keitai Henka, yeah. That's their henshin call. I don't fucking know.
Anyway, the thing is, she goes into the world, and there's only like 4 of them that they show, and each of these worlds is a different set of rules.
5.
And
5 of them.
I'm sorry. Yeah, the only through line is that once she's done whatever that needed to happen there, which is just defeat said Makai Knight, she has to die, or she ends up dying, in order to get transported to the next world. Yeah,
and that literally happens 3 seconds into the first episode. Which, the first episode starts a very different vibe, where it's like, oh, Masahiro's here. Oh, he's chasing this random girl in the forest. Okay, and then he stabs her. Okay. Wow, that escalated quickly. Not a single suit in the first fucking episode, by the way. Not a single fucking suit.
Not a suit, not a hint of a suit, not even a kaijin.
Not even a Keitai Henka. He looks at a cell phone. That's about it. I think he's wearing the headgear at some point. That's about it.
In the very beginning, he's wearing this headgear and mask, and then he's like, it's go time for something.
Yeah.
Because we don't even know. He has no motive. He has no direction. He's just, I'm
going to be cool. That's my direction.
Yeah. Like, we're tied together. That's what he tells her. Now you have to kill me or I have to kill you. Yep. That's the only solutions. And you don't have a choice because it's your fate to destroy the world. Why? Why? If you know why, say why. And if it's one of those, if I tell you it happens, it won't happen. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Shut up.
You know how little that actually mattered? I forgot that was an entire conversation to the last episode.
I'm telling you, it's all stuff that was like, why did you make this if it wasn't for me to watch you blow yourself?
Yep.
And be in every possible...
It's like, okay, so this in particular is why I will never make a mecha thing, because it will just be me masturbating at the audience for however many fucking episodes with all look how cool this is, guys. Look how cool this is, guys. There's no fucking story. Just look how cool this is, guys. But look at this thing. Look how cool it is.
It is definitely a production of wouldn't it be cool if,
yes,
but
100%.
But let me do this here. I'm gonna drop a couple things in the Discord, and you tell me what you see, and you tell me what didn't happen.
Okay.
I'm dropping these profile pictures in the Discord for you guys to check out. Now, these are all the characters in this show. Who do you see? Who do you have? And what did you do with them?
Yes, I remember these folks.
What did you do with 12 episodes of potential acting that you did nothing
And a lot
with?
of these guys are like pretty big Toku actors.
Bro, you have Kamen Rider Knight in literally every scene you're in.
Doing nothing.
He doesn't say one word. He doesn't say anything.
I would have put hard money that he was going to say something in the last episode, and he just looks at him.
Bro, I know I was upset while I was watching this, but I know I wanted to wait because now I feel this boiling anger within me. I wanted to not bash this, but I'm bashing it.
Okay.
They give him...
You can be... You be the devil, I'll be the angle. Okay?
Fine. Okay. here's another thing, okay? You give him these little gadgets and gizmos that's supposed to represent the world they're in.
Mm-hmm. They're clocks.
They do nothing other than manifest a fake time, because it's not like it's not like they ever have a time limit. Everything waits until they're done, and then it's either they kill her. It's they kill her because she never kills him.
Yep.
He dies twice.
Yep.
Okay. He dies twice. Once in a dope ass way. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
He gets into a fight with Fisty Boy here.
Fisty
Boy.
Fisty Boy is his teacher. His
Fisty
sensei.
Boy's right up your alley. Listen,
I fucking love Fisty Boy. I'm not gonna lie, I was definitely drifting a little bit, and then Fisty Boy came on. I was like, hello, what do we got here? So also I should mention, this show came out weekly. It just ended recently. I had watched up until it's episode 4, where he has the fight with the blue guy. That's episode 4. In that, yeah. And let me tell you why I stopped watching it week to week, because the last 3 minutes are a fucking musical number for no reason whatsoever, other than to have a musical number in this show.
Oh no, let me tell you the musical number. Here, check this shit out. All right, guys, listen, pay attention. Do you want to know the plot to that episode? She gets isekai to a world where nobody speaks with their voices, because they've learned to telepathically communicate. Yep. And when you telepathically communicate with somebody, you know their true intentions, and they can't hide from you. Okay? So if you already have that ability, what would the difference be of me speaking if you can read my mind?
Because it speaks with their heart.
So they end up not speaking for X amount of time until Isekai chick is like, why not just sing with me? Actually, bullshit. That's Masahiro's.
Yeah, I was going to say, Masahiro says, yo, start singing. And she goes, okay.
Start singing that random ass song that they introduced in the beginning of this episode. And that was it. And it's, like you said, a musical number. And then they're fighting these two, they're fighting. And he just knocks the gun out of his hand, and that's the end of the fight. Do you
know why they chose that particular song?
No.
Okay, so the reason they chose that song is exactly the same thing we talked about a week ago, when I went, you know what's really fucking cool? When you're having a really intense battle and a slow, quiet song is playing.
But it didn't work.
Oh, I know it didn't work. Trust me, I fucking know.
You're right.
We had that exact same conversation about our Tokudon project, and that's why he chose it. And that's why everything is chosen in the show, because Masahiro goes, yeah, I like that.
You know what'd be cool? If I was like doing this, and if I was doing that, and if I
What if we spent 2 episodes of me fighting me?
For as much as I appreciated Decade, when Decade was a thing, I really feel like, do you think they buried Decade because of him? Like, maybe it's his fault that they buried Decade. Like, he was
maybe he went, what if I started jumping worlds and I got this new suit and, like, I killed this girl instead?
Is there a way that we can get Decade to be in that movie? I heard you're doing Gotchard. Is there a way that Decade can be in Gotchard? Please? Like, I really feel like he's fully arming everybody. And it pisses me off now.
Like... Okay, so I'm gonna say this. I'm happy.
I'm really mad.
I know you are. It's hilarious. Really I'm happy he got to make the tokusatsu he wanted to make, because that's something none of us can fucking do.
I'm working so hard on Tokudon every day of my life, and this fucker just farts out this shit.
This dude does a shit cover of his own fucking theme song.
Oh my god. Okay. All right. Let's talk about more pompousness from this dickhead. He sings the ending theme. I'm convinced. I don't know for sure.
Oh my god. He
sings the ending theme. It is so bullshit falsetto. It is so terribly done. And I'm like, and I sent it to you. I'm like, does he fucking sing his ending theme? Because if he does, I hate it. And I think he does. Let me find out. Now we need to know.
I love how upset you are. This is great.
I haven't felt this way in a long time.
My god, I'm so glad. Normally when we're like, oh, I don't like it. Literally, that's the end of the conversation. Wow, I kind of hated that. Yeah, I kind of hated that too. Yeah, let's watch something else. This is like, no, we're gonna fucking talk about it. Okay, this is a piece of shit. I'm mad he splooged in my eye. God damn it.
He did, and he laughed at me while he did it. And now I have
he said, "Do you want me to call you a cab?"
I know. I'll walk this off.
I'll walk you, motherfucker.
Walking this off. Okay, so he does sing the song. He does sing the
God. I love it. So I also want to talk about these characters' names for a second. So we have Vanitas, my dude, the green boy, the green punchy boy, who was actually kind of cool. Like, he was a cornball, but I feel like he was a cornball with a purpose. You know what I mean? Like, he was supposed to be that old, like, Kentaros kind of, like, rigid, whatever, old school dude.
Well, yeah. I mean, they definitely made it seem like he only lost because Masahiro cheated.
Yeah, literally cheated.
Like...
he lost because Masahiro is Masahiro. That's why he fucking lost.
So, like, this clip... This particular thing, they're having a decent fight, and he catches him cleanly, bro. Cleanly, he breaks the belt, which I guess is the way to kill him. I guess. Yeah. I don't know.
He like spin back fist through his chest. That's a pretty good way too. So
yeah, killed him, but didn't technically kill them because Masahiro planned to have like a sliver of his self preserved somewhere else
in a stamp or something. I don't fucking know, man.
Was able. Yeah.
But either way, okay. So in these forms, again, the forms are pretty cool. I like these suits a lot, actually. They're pretty dope. The colors are cool. The weapons are cool. I thought you would really like the scythe, and I thought that was pretty sick. You like the gold guy? The gold guy was pretty sick.
Well, the gold guy is dope. The scythe is obviously fucking, you're cheating when you put a scythe in it, though.
Yeah. And then you find out the scythe is a fucking sword, too. But, you know.
Yeah. So, like, that's the cheating part. So he's about to fall for, like, the same attack and lose again. And then he's like, psych, I actually have a sword in the bottom of my scythe.
Yeah.
Stab.
Gotcha, bitch.
Really?
I'm also noticing, specifically on these pictures, you can see where in that star their world resides because that end of the star is cut off. So if you look at Vanitas, the top right is. Phobia here is the top one. And then Deagle is the bottom. Actually, it doesn't make sense because the star is rotating. Why? This doesn't fucking make sense. Not even their own fucking planning thing makes sense. Oh my god.
Well, yeah.
Because like Deagles and Phobias are literally reversed. So I don't know. Anyway, that theory went out the fucking window. So I don't know.
Ayuka is basically there because she is the gateway in which when he defeats the Makai Knights, they give him a new card, the trading card,
the sticker,
which goes into her unfolding compact.
She literally gets a piece of Exodia.
Yes, that's where I was going with it. So it's like she has like the dual disc, but it unravels and she gets another piece of Exodia. But so far, I think she's only gotten 4 of them.
She got all 5.
She got all 5, and nothing happened. Nothing happened.
No, what happened was it saved her world and erased her memories, so literally none of it fucking mattered.
Bullshit, because season 2 pops up at the very end. She goes, huh? That's suspicious. What's that? And he fucking disappears again.
Yep.
He dies again.
Yep.
How? How is this happening? How does he get away? How is he getting away with this, man?
Yep.
Why? We can't let him get away with it.
Because Masahiro, that's why. So I'm going to, before we get into whatever we can actually talk about on this plot of what we fucking understood, I want to talk, since you just posted all these characters, I want to talk about the suits and the dudes, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So
that's fine.
Let's take the story bullshit out. Which one was your favorite?
Of the designs, obviously, the blue guy. The Blasty boy, the Blasty gun, the way that they did the gun, the rules that specific thing follows, because it has a full meter, and he can do different kinds of shots with the meter.
Depending on different shots cost different amount.
And I like that. I really like that.
And then he has to take a second to fucking recharge the thing.
That's what I'm saying. The cooldown is like almost 2 minutes of no gun. So you're like, fuck, that is a decent trade-off when it comes to me. But his design, I think I like the gold guy better. But I like the blue gun. You know what I mean? Okay. So the gold design.
The gold guy's fucking like broadsword was pretty dope, though. The long sword that he had, it was pretty sick.
Yeah, hang on. I think I have a pic of that because that shit is just out there.
And he does a really cool thing where at one point he like throws it, like he like round trips that shit and jumps on top of it. I thought that was kind of cool.
So so along with the designs for the suits, the fight sequences, like you said earlier, pretty damn good. Not bad.
Not bad. A lot better than I thought they were going to be.
But they don't make up for it. They're good.
They don't. Great. But like, they saved me from turning this off.
Right. Yes.
So.
Yes. Actually, no. My seething rage kept me going through most of this.
Spite watching, heard.
I don't like the one thing is like the cape. Mm-hmm. It looks like it's stock cape for all of them, but when you look at this picture, I think I have a picture of what it looks like underneath. Underneath,
looks cape, really fucking cool.
Yeah, like they have this rigid.
I don't know if you noticed, and I think this is strictly because it's hard to animate. But so when they're in these suits, they have a final attack, and this engine thing opens up on their back, and they do this really cool like after image. Almost, remember how Decade had the line of cards? They do almost like that, but it's images of like where this person's gonna go in their attack, and it's a really cool effect. I think it was really, I thought it was really cool anyway. It is. Like. When two of them activate it, like for instance, when he's fighting the Gold Boy here, they do it and there's just this like rapid tornado up because they're doing so many micro movements as they're clashing in the air. And it's a really cool fucking effect. And like they do that. And when they activate it and the CG slows down, they don't have these capes. These capes are gone. Yeah. So I think it was just really hard to animate the cape. But whenever they have the CG things going, the capes don't exist. Yes, I did see this picture. Yeah, like this stuff underneath is really cool, and I kind of wish they just got rid of some of the cape thing.
Should have done that because that looks more like, I don't know, the capey thing. One, it threw off the silhouette of the riders because they all look very boxy.
Yes, like, I was gonna say like a couple of them looked like big, like they actually looked like overweight, and I was like, that's not no, not at all.
That's like Oja? No, but not Oja.
No, not Oja. Yeah, no, I totally agree. At least like I wish, I don't know, they had like a mode or only like one, or like the gold dude could have kept his kind of thing, and maybe like one other one, maybe like Punch Boy keeps it. The rest of them should have been just the base, whatever. I think, agreed. I think that cape, I just thought it was really funny when they did the CG that cape just wasn't fucking there. So I'm curious if also maybe like the suit underneath broke and they had the CG model already made.
I really feel like this cape was an excuse. Like they definitely found that shit in. So, question. There's a specific episode that I totally checked out of, but I got the gist of it.
Okay. So before you do that, I just want to say again, my favorite was the green guy, the punchy boy, and because he has a big, stupid, dumb fist that creates earth shockwaves, and I thought that attack was really fucking cool.
And he uses it like effectively too, like it's fucking dope. He's like he's leading him into the setup, like he's striking the ground, and it's like he's making Masahiro dodge and dive and dip, and Masahiro thinks he's like ahead of it, and then he's like, gotcha, and it's like, oh shit, like that was
it's dope. That was dope. Yeah. And like I also dig the form a lot. I wasn't a huge fan of, I thought they were cat ears for a second, and I was like, that's not awful. Like Gyako is cool, I'm down for it. Okay. And then like the more I looked at it, I was like, no, this is kind of dope. I kind of dig this actually. Like the cool dual horns thing going on, even if they do look kind of like cat ears, I think it was pretty cool. I also just like that they all have the skeleton face underneath, like in different capacities.
It's a nice touch because it's not something you see very often. Like even seeing behind the visor is just like maybe just eyes. Yeah. They have like these, I don't know, these like ghostly faces. It's fucking cool.
Yeah, like, I'm okay like it's almost like when you look at the Ghost Driver, it has that like gross, creepy like skeleton smile. It's almost like that, but they all have like an automaton face almost, and like it's an automaton skull essentially. Like it doesn't have a nose or anything like that. It's really cool.
That being said, the designs aside, the weapons aside, the henshin, I still don't like it. I still really don't like it. You
don't like transforming Revolve Change Beats toys?
It is Revolve Change. Revolve Change did the fusion dance with, I don't know, all the Michael Bay Transformers movies. Like it is legitimately.
I did like that all of them transformed in a different way. Did you notice that?
But it felt familiar.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
No, I'm not saying it was the best, and it like they could have. I honestly would have taken like a Garo snap-on kind of thing. Cool, but I did like
Flash.
how. You know what I mean? Like, it could have been fucking Flash. I don't really care, but I liked how Masahiro literally flipped Like he literally did a revolve change. That was just straight up a fucking revolve change. The gold guy had the arms like come out of his back and piece him on. I thought that was a really cool effect. I wish they all kind of did that instead. Honestly, that was really fucking cool.
Was like I've
blue
seen
like
this.
rotates sideways or something. I forget what he did. And green, he like came out of his own chest. Some crazy shit like that.
It didn't work for me, bro.
No.
It really didn't. Like I was just like, no, I see why you're doing that.
Yeah.
But I don't buy it because I've seen this in all the Michael Bay movies, and it looks just as shitty there as you're trying to make it look good here.
And like,
it doesn't work.
I would have taken a season 2 if they had spent that last episode talking about whatever this fucking future world is. Like, why? Just why do they do this? Why do they need the cell phones? Why do they turn into fucking action figures when they transform? I mean, I know why they change into action figures so they can fucking sell these things. So
speaking of action figures, let me drop a couple of them bitches in there.
Oh, they have actual action figures. I'm not surprised. I saw a goods link and I was like, I'm not clicking that.
I think this is what's coming because they look pretty fucking
Oh yeah, I did see these acrylic standees. These are acrylic standees you can buy. These have their weapons. Actually, I think that punch one is kind of cool. Actually, so is the gold one. The gold one's pretty sick. These are all kind of sick, honestly, because they got their weapons in the background. There, they're all pretty sick.
The designs are nice, but that's where I draw the line because the henshin sucks. The CG is not that great.
Okay,
but it just I'm gonna back up here.
Okay,
I want to compliment it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Help me compliment it.
Okay. I can do that.
Okay. I really enjoyed that they dropped the Dogenger villain in there.
Yes! It was the same episode. It was the same fucking episode that you were just about to talk about where you clocked out.
I did.
Kamen Yiber. You buy Kamen, whatever the fuck his name is, from Dogengers.
Yeah.
He shows up in one of the worlds, and it's fucking cool.
It's a monster world. I think it's episode 5. Yeah, so it's episode 5 where she gets isekai to this world and she's blind because of whatever happened, and she can't
she is. That's why.
Yeah, she can't see that the people helping her are monsters. Now, it's a monster, but he's a reformed monster. He's like one of those. I don't want to be bad. I want to be good.
I feel like he was in Dogengers too, but don't quote me on that.
I can't remember enough, and I apologize because the second you said they had the Dogenger villain in there, I was like, that's why he's fucking familiar.
Yeah. No, I was looking at him. I was like, why do I know this? Why do I know this fucking suit? And then I was like, is that the dude from Dogengers? And I looked it up and I was like, holy fuck, it's the dude from Dogengers. Holy shit. All right. Yeah. And then I was like, because I saw the wolf dude, and like, so this is about 2 brothers. One's like an older brother, one's a younger brother. They're furries essentially. And one has this really cool outfit on over his furry suit. And if he took the furry suit off, I think it'd be a really cool fucking outfit.
It's an expensive furry suit.
It's a really expensive furry suit. Like the eyes glow and everything. And so does his chest. But like he's got these cool like Super Shredder gauntlets going on and stuff, and like
same vibes. Like,
yeah, it was like very Super Shredder, and I was like, this is dope. Why does he look like a cheap furry, but also really expensive? And I feel like I've seen these two too, and they may have been in Dogengers as well, but I don't know. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah, you can't quote us, man. You can't do that to us.
I don't remember what I did last week on this episode. I'm going to be honest with you. So you cannot, like, Dorky, you wonderful human being, has sat through like every fucking episode we've put out, and he's like, "Oh, you guys did this," and I was like, "I don't even remember last week."
Really, bro? Like, oh, fuck. I still ride that high where you claim we're right on point with the Revice thing, because I'm like, yeah, I totally knew what I was talking about. Like, no,
I don't even remember what I said. I don't remember how this episode started.
But basically, this is like the collective of you don't need to remember anything that happens because none of it fucking matters. So
none of it.
She can't see. She's being helped by these guys. The Dogenger villain convinces the little baby brother to help her. And then there's a fight. And that's it. Barely a fight.
That's it.
Barely a fight. They don't even fight they don't even give you the fight that you think is coming. Like Jisariz shows up and Jisariz is being an asshole and he's like, hey, what are you doing with this chick? And then the wolf dude is like, are you an enemy? I'll fight you. And that doesn't happen.
No.
And it's like,
he does outside of the suit and just kind of like spins around a couple times, and then he ends up fighting Kamen Yabai at some point for like half a second.
And beating him. And then for some reason they play it up like Yabai knows who he is. And it's like it's
he says something like, how can a member of the Masked be human? and Masahiro says something like, "Oh, you must not know how all heroes are." And I was like, I feel like this was probably a reference to Dogengers somehow, but I don't remember the show enough, and it just sounded really fucking corny. So
I thought it was a jab at Rider. I'm like, is that a Rider jab?
It might have been. It's, you know what this sounds like? This whole thing feels like a DMC Devil May Cry, where there's weird venom to the entire genre, but at the same time you're celebrating so fucking much of it because you're like, this is cool, this is cool, this is cool.
I will take that Mundus over the other Mundus, though. I'm just saying, like, that Mundus actually had some.
Delete Mundus. Mundus doesn't fucking matter. So.
That Mundus was just anyway. But this whole thing, bro. I'm gonna if the season 2 comes out, when a season 2 comes out.
Yep, there you go.
Let's make sure that I don't know. I'm going to make sure that I don't come at this with another sense of anger now that I know what we're getting into. I am fully aware this is Masahiro's baby project, where he can make himself feel better about not being a rider anymore. Because there's no other reason he made this shit other than to be bitter at what they did to Decade.
Yeah, they made him wear the 21 suit. He's pissed. I get it. Honestly, that suit sucks ass. So let's talk about a couple of these individual episodes, because again, they don't matter. They go to 5 different worlds, 6 different worlds, something like that, and none of it fucking matters.
Names. So the first episode is Run Through a Forest.
Oh yes. Do you have all the names in front of you? Please just read them off for me, all 12 of them.
Run Through the Forest. Okay, so they're not called episodes, they're called kills.
Yeah.
Kill 1, Run Through a Forest.
Because
Kill
of course
2,
they fucking are.
A flower blooms in a ruin. My voice doesn't reach you. Kill 4, her voice reverberates in heart.
That's the singing 5. Episode, by the way, guys.
Yes. Kill 5 is the monster one. The mystery man who isn't seen.
Because she's
Kill
blind.
6.
Yep.
Pride of the atypical appearance. Kill 7. The future disappears in the sea. There's an ocean episode.
Yes. So that one. So they all kind of, they're, now that I'm hearing them and have seen the episode, they're very on the fucking nose of what happens. That's the second episode with the green guy. That's where you find out he lives in a world that this is where I was like, okay, there's stuff here, right? So you find out the green guy is in charge of this particular world that repeats the same day over and over and over again, because the day yes. So that's why this girl is just hanging out there. That girl that she keeps running into is his daughter. And he finds out the day he left to go do whatever the fuck, his daughter died in the ocean. So he's reliving this last day in this world to have any kind of semblance and time with his family, because he can't get it back. I was like, holy shit, that's some fucking deep shit.
That's cool.
Yes. That's cool.
Why didn't they focus on that?
Because they were too busy watching Masahiro masturbate in the corner. And in the same token, actually finish the episodes, because we'll get to it eventually. Good, keep going.
I mean, if you're okay, so Kill 8 is the mind is inconsistent. Kill 8, episode 8 is the one. That's where they introduce. Okay, so there's this future world that you're talking about, that where they all came from. There's this council going on.
There's this weird fucking Illuminati council that they never fucking explain.
No, but they're like alluding that Masahiro is the chosen one.
Yeah.
And he's like meant to like fix something.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't, then they have to wait another century for another candidate like him to come around. What do you mean? What do you mean? Like,
the only thing I can think of with that is he was able to get, what did they call it? The fucking Necronomicon or whatever the fuck they call it, like the Rubicon or something. And I thought that was the thing the girl was building, that fucking thing. Because he's like, I think the blue guy, when he meets him again, because they have this very like Hibiki style relationship where they all know each other. And which is, it's cool. Like we said, you talked about on the Hibiki one, like that's kind of cool that they all have a history and know each other a little bit. And they're like, yeah, why are you doing this? Like, what the fuck? Even Masahiro knows them, and he's all like, yo, I used to look up to you, and like now you're being an asshole. And he mentioned something about the blue guy, Phobia, mentioned something about him losing this. I'm just going to call it the Necronomicon because I don't know what it's fucking called. He's like, oh, you lost the Necronomicon. How could you lose the Necronomicon? He's like, I didn't lose it. I'm just rebuilding it or something. And that's why I assumed it was the thing she was making. But I was also like, why is he rebuilding himself? That's weird. So
maybe that's how he can fractal himself and die so many times.
Maybe. Like, I thought, honestly, they were making her into one of these dudes. I thought that's what they were doing. And so, like, I thought they were building her. Like, I thought it was going to pay off to be like, this is how you become one of these people. You know what I mean? Like, this is how you get this cool-ass suit. And I thought it was like she gets all the pieces. You know, honestly, because you find out all of these pieces are emotions, and she had to experience these motions in all of these points on this star worlds, whatever. Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. I'm just explaining it how it is. But she has to experience different emotions on the points in this star around this weird fucking rotating fucking computer, whatever. But like, it's what it is. And that's how she gets the stamps, and that's why she's going to all these different worlds to get these stamps. And supposedly it's to save her world, but I thought it was to turn her into like one of these things, and I thought it was going to be this like, you become a real person when you become one of these because you've experienced all you have to experience. You know what I mean? Like, you've experienced all of humanity, whatever, emotions, exactly. And then I thought that's what that was going to be. Like, these are real people. These are people that have experienced all points, the star motif, just going with that, like all points of the human emotion spectrum. And that's what makes them these like superhumans almost. And like, that would have been cool. I think that would have been fucking cool. But no.
You get a play off of the whole, what's the right word for that? Prophetic, this is supposed to be deeper than it is. Because ultimately he ends up defeating him, right? Mm-hmm. And then he's just like, are we cool?
Yeah. Okay. And like, so finish the episode titles. We were on episode 8. Because like, there's a couple of the characters that I'm curious if the titles actually match up with it now that I did like.
So that episode ends and they just walk away. We'll just say that. They walk away from each other and call it a truce.
Yep.
The very next episode is where the mind fuckery takes it to 12, because that's the doppelganger episode. This is called The Mind is Inconsistent. Now, what I thought was happening in this episode is the character, Jisariz, is having conflicts with himself because they reveal the tiniest fractal of his motivation. Yeah. It's like, you pretend to know everything, but you really are scared.
Yeah.
And it's like,
because he's kind of flying by the seat of his pants.
And you're like, okay, so what does that mean? And they're like, oh, I don't know. The original Masahiro is like, I don't know what you're talking about. I got everything in control. And you're like, no, go further with that. And they don't.
And they're like, no, just let the dude fucking cook. Let him cook.
Yeah.
And Masahiro's like, no, this is my show. And it's like, he has your face. Just let him cook.
It's an episode, and here's where they went with it. So they went with this whole thing of like, we can reveal like his whole motivation and why he does what he does. Instead, what they do is like, no, what he's doing is he's reinstalling his resolve. So it's like he's doubting himself only a little bit because of whatever might happen.
Yeah.
But he's
decading a little less, so we need him to fight himself to re-up his decadeness.
So Discount Tombo joins him in
fucking Tombo.
It's who he is. That is
absolutely who he is. With a like way, way worse personality. Zero personality, I would even say.
No, it's Tombo with Shin's personality, because he's
his
like
assistant dude.
Sorry's his ass. He's like, so like it's like this whole Shin personality type. But yes, it's very much that. But so this whole thing is like, he's like, oh, I gotta be strong enough. And then he actually defeats the guy, and nothing comes out of that. Nope. It's just like, what did you do? It wasn't a power up. It wasn't nothing. The only thing is that he uses the scythe in the normal thing, which is like okay for like 5 minutes. But it like, bro, I was waiting for something,
literally anything.
Nothing consequential happens. They get another Exodia piece, and that's it. Yep.
Then they move on to the next world.
What was the point of that if it wasn't to get a final form or an upgrade? Nothing. Now, the very next episode is called... Oh, I'm sorry. So the Doppelganger episode is called Behind the Fiction, right? Then the following episode 10, is called Array of Truth, which is where he defeats the guy and gets, nothing.
Yep.
And the episode 11, Kill 11, is called Kingdom of Desire.
Yep.
In Kingdom of Desire, we get...
I loved and hated this episode all at the same time.
I thought they wasted Night. And they wasted Night by not giving him dialogue.
Yeah.
Or anything to do.
Or anything, yeah. He just fucking sat there, literally.
They really wasted Agito.
Yeah.
Really wasted him.
So my man, first off, has fucking the weirdest wig thing going on ever. It was like a half mullet going on, but like they're clearly weave because like they all have their color, like their fucking ranger color in their hair. It's literally the ranger color. But like he's being a badass, right? And like it's so this is what I love. I'll start with what I love. Should I start with what I love? Let's end on a good note. I'll start with what I didn't like about this episode, right? So what I didn't like about this episode was he actually gets a fucking upgrade. He actually gets like Jisariz gets a fucking upgrade, or Jisariz, whatever the fuck it is, gets an upgrade triggered by Ayuko, the main girl who has zero personality, has nothing to do other than just dying and resetting into a new world. The one who's supposed to be building these pieces to save her world. She goes full fucking that little thing in Digimon Tamers, the 3rd season, where he would like activate their fucking mega evolution. She Digi-Armor energizes his ass. And then he turns into this crazy CG like god.
Yeah, it's like it looks like if X8, if Fies went full mecha with it, you know what I mean? Like it's
like ultimate Fies essentially. Yeah. Might be what we're getting in like the new 10th anniversary movie, who knows, or 20th, whatever the fuck it is for Fies. But yeah, like, and he does this form, and I don't know if you caught this, but Agito calls it Rebolt, and then he goes, no, that's not what it is. So I'm wondering if they do have another fucking form. They just didn't talk about it like usual.
That's what I thought the whole thing of the compact dual disc was, to get the power up that this is.
Okay.
But that doesn't.
Yeah, this is it's very hard to see because it's hard to see because this fucking thing is just difficult to look at.
That's what it looks like. It looks like X8 fused with like this polygonic form.
And like the normal body is still underneath, which is the weird part to this. Like it's stretched out and weird, but like on top of like below these crazy neon super rings is like the actual suit. It's just, CG. And he does this crazy thing where he like, do you remember Violet from Soul Calibur 6 or Viola from Soul Calibur 6 where she would throw the orb? He just like throws this orb in different directions and can fucking like, I was like, oh, that's why they said he was a strategist, because he can fucking do the things. And I was like, there you go.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm going to drop this here for you because what is that supposed to mean? So I paused it. While they're talking, those people who are in that booth, they're doing their thing, they're scheming. I just paused the screen here. Does that mean he's like out of control?
So I think that's what it was. That's what I was kind of going to get to with this Rebolt thing. So if you notice when he does that, Agito goes, "Is that a Rebolt?" No, that's nothing. And then he says like, "Oh, it's a defect," and I think that's what we're talking about here, because I think Rebolt might be like how they armor on, like Keita Henka might be a Rebolt, or like maybe they have a different form. I don't know, but I was like, you're giving me things that I am interested in. Why are you not doing anything with them? For the love of fucking God!
They had these cool ideas. Look, the final episode is called The Regrettable Courage. More like the regrettable courage to watch this entire show. Yep. So like I loved the ideas, bro. This fight was good.
Yes.
Like you said,
let me finish off with what I liked for this episode before we tear the fucking end of this apart, because I'm gonna tear it the fuck apart. I'm gonna join you in this. We're gonna Office Space this shit. So all right, yeah. What I really liked in this episode is he is Agito. When I say he, the Keita Henka fucking ranger, whatever the fuck they are, Makai Knights, is the ruler of this world where no one has desires. That's the entire thing. And he's proud of it. He is proud to rule people that have no desire. And so when they get there, it's interesting to see because Masahiro walks in and he sees this dude who just has bread and water and he looks fucking miserable. And you go, oh, there's no way that dude doesn't have a desire. Because he fucking does. And then, Discount Tombo and fucking useless girl number 7 are literally in like they get transported in the fucking kingdom. Like they go and they see this guy and Discount Tombo's like, oh shit, it's this dude. Oh yeah, he runs this place. And they look like fucking King Oger ripoffs. It's kind of sad how like Shugadam they fucking look.
No, that shit was fucking with me the whole time. I'm like, I want to say this is like Shugadam with like, the yellow palette.
Yeah, they're literally wearing black and yellow instead. They're wearing black shirts instead of the red shirts. That's the only fucking difference.
Hold on.
And so you meet Agito, who is like, hey, this is the world without desire, and I can't let you spread your fucking decade curse over here and ruin this world too, because your world is collapsing. And then they showed this weird animatic of like her world. It was very stupid. I hated it. It was disgusting. There's artistic ways to do things, and then there's have your fucking 5-year-old kid draw some pictures. That's what was going on here. I hated it.
It was hazy thing. Yeah, it was
terrible. It was fucking terrible. But like they're doing that, and he goes, this is a world without desire. I don't desire to kill you, but I have to do what I have to. And then eventually Masahiro, this is the only time I actually fucking like Masahiro's character. He comes in and he goes, the only reason you rule this world of no desires is because no one's going to talk back to you and it's easy. And he calls him the fuck out. And I was like, yo, that's what's up. I dig that. And then he eventually, the entire point is he gives into the strongest fucking desire, which is him to just be this ruler. And I thought that was kind of cool.
And then you have his right-hand man who's like, you're wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like you're literally giving into your desire and it's fucking wrong.
The king is about to strike down Masahiro, and his right-hand man who's like been there the whole time.
Strike down the girl. It's not even Masahiro.
Right, but the girl, I'm sorry.
Yes.
But he's about to strike, and then the dude eats the blow, and then he's like, you're fucking up. And it was like one of those moments where he's like, it's like the guy is dying, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's dying to teach the you know what I mean? Like he's trying to show Agito the way in order to fix, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how I want to relay that, but all it is like, of all the genuine moments, I'll give it that one. Because that was like, oh shit, he didn't just like, no, you know what I mean? That whole fucking
it was like, I would have given him that one if I knew who the fuck that guy was.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not giving him the character. I'm saying the teaching, what he did in order to teach the lesson. It wasn't like a self-sacrifice. It wasn't like, oh my God, my king, you're, you know what I mean? Like, don't become a monster. He's like, you fucked up.
Yeah.
Please fix it. You know what I mean? Like,
yes. I like that part where he was, his dying words were, what the fuck, man?
Yeah. Like, you fucked up. Please fix this shit.
Yes. I like that. But the moment is immediately ruined. And I was watching it going, wow, this would be fucking great if I knew who this guy was. Literally. Yes. If I hadn't spent all of 30 seconds and like 2 sweeping shots with this dude, like you don't even see his face really until he jumps in front of her.
You're not wrong. I'm not taking that. I just, if I'm going to give it something, I'll give it that it was better than what I thought it was going to be.
I feel like this moment is one of those things where like in its own little biome, it would have been really bad. But it's because at this point I was kind of picking at anything that was kind of good. It was probably raised up a little bit on a pedestal. You know what I mean? Like if someone sent me that clip of that guy dying, I'd be like, oh, that was kind of deep.
Yeah.
That's neat. And I don't care. Like, but I'd also still, and I'd be like, oh, I hope we get to know this dude. So this hits hard. And then I watch the show and I go, literally, that was exactly the same as if someone had just sent me the clip.
But even out of context, I think it's more appreciative because you're not trudging through all this bullshit to get there.
It's true. Yo.
But so you're right. Like he does pay the price, and then but Agito's character is still like, well, I'm already here. Let's just fucking go.
Agito's like, well, I'm still gonna save my world, so square the fuck up, I guess.
Yeah, and then you get the final episode, which is 80% fight, which is decent because it really like takes you through the whole struggle.
And then, by 80%, he means all of like 3 minutes, just so you guys know.
Yeah, because
the episodes are super short.
12 episode minutes. So yeah, well, don't get crazy here. This wasn't.
I will say that was in its favor because God, I could not have finished 12 full length episodes of this shit.
No,
but also some of these moments might have been able to like stretch a little bit if it was a full length episode. So I don't know.
So do you feel like, I don't know, even the fact that they don't even kill this guy either. So let's put that out. Yeah. So he doesn't die either.
No one fucking dies in this show, by the way.
That's what I'm telling you.
Like, all of the Rangers are still around.
Because they built this up to be a second season, which they wanted to focus the story on. And I'm right back to that fucking hatred. Like, why did you not?
No, let's fuel that hatred. Let's talk about when they get back to her world. She now has 5 of the 6 Exodia cards. Yes, you need 6 now because the head and chest are 2 different pieces apparently. So she has 5 of the 6 Exodia cards, and you find out that there's little symbols on each one. And this is when Masahiro says, you have experienced bondness. And the subs aren't the greatest thing ever, even though they're done by the channel. They're not the greatest thing ever. Bondness. It was like bondness, happiness, pride, and something else, whatever. The last one she has to feel is sadness. And then they start to show you this flashback of her with her friend who is kind of awkward. And I was like, oh, she's going to remember. That's how we're going to trigger this last one.
Nope. But who was that? Because that was like, again, they showed
they teased it in like episode 11 randomly when she started to do the fucking Digiarmor Energize shit. And then that was it. Again,
I thought that
I would have felt a lot worse if we had like started the episode with that girl killing herself, because clearly that's what she fucking did.
I thought that what was going to happen is like she was supposed to be the fucking Digi-destined, but she took her spot. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was going to be like that.
Like Shiori was supposed to be the one doing this whole thing.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, please do that. But no,
that had nothing to do with anything. It's just that this girl was bullied so bad that she killed herself, and bullied by her best friend, by the way. Ayaka kind of fucking sucks. And
everybody.
And I shouldn't say that. Ayaka never actually bullied her. She just was like, hey, my friends think you're a little weird. Do you think you could change? And she was like, you're my best friend. What are you talking about? And then Shiori, because she was heckled by other people and her friend did fucking nothing. I don't know if you guys know this. I don't stand for that shit. I will say something immediately. I don't give a fuck. Clearly I don't give a fuck in general. But
yeah, you do not be an asshole in front of me. That shit just doesn't work.
Yep. Nope. Especially when alcohol is involved. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's for a different podcast. Okay, moving on. I have a temper sometimes. It's fine. It's righteous anger. Okay, I swear.
We're heroes. We are heroes.
We're heroes. God damn it. So. Shiori they never actually like show her killing herself, but they allude very heavily that she killed herself.
Yes.
And they kind of play it off like it's Ayaka's fault. Again, probably because she ignored her cries for help kind of thing. And so this whole conversation boils down to you need to have sadness for your last card. You find out that she's been going to all these worlds to experience these different emotions. That's what generates these fucking Exodia cards. Also, what up, Aaron? And she, instead of being like, this would have been a great moment to have her actually have a fucking character where she goes, oh fuck, I'm the reason this happened. Oh God, I lost my best friend. Oh God, oh God, oh God. Instead, they go, oh God, my best friend's gone. And then Masahiro goes, but you have to kill me.
But here's something you got to do. Like, really?
And I was like...
Wow. But then again, it was coming. Because for 11 episodes, he's done nothing but kill her.
I know. But like, I was just like... You can do that after she acquires the last card. You can literally, like, My thing is, okay, I get it. You were saying Stockholm. That is a perfect fucking example. Like, this dude has literally done nothing but murder her 11 times. And
Text
so,
her
like,
murder.
yeah.
No, there's a line. There is a line. There is I gotta find it. I'm not gonna go through that struggle. But I swear, she says a line where he goes, "You don't get to kill this girl, only I do." Right? He says that to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And her response in her head is like,
I feel weirdly comfortable with that, or something like that.
Yeah, I'm weirdly at peace with that. And I'm like, what?
Yes. I think it's when he's fighting the green guy.
It might be something like that.
But yes, she says something like, I'm weirdly at peace with having him around, or something like that. And I was like, what the fuck is happening here?
Oh my god! And that's where I'm like, this is gonna go Stockholm. Yep. I don't want to go. This is gonna be a long ride.
This is fucking weird. So yeah, the sadness she has to feel is murdering Masahiro, because Masahiro is God's gift to this fucking world, apparently, and that's what it's gonna create, the ultimate sadness.
Listen, this moment when she stabs him with discount rivers of blood, I was like, what? No.
You mean didn't stab him and they fucking put like a CG splurt behind him?
Nice.
They straight up did the like under the arm shit. I was like, what is this, 5th fucking grade? What is happening here?
You remember those blood effects from like those vintage videos?
You mean the $5 fucking multi-pack VFX thing you can buy off any website? Yeah, I remember those.
So she stabs him with that and he dies, and then the world resets.
He says, no. Do not undersell this fucking moment, because the entire time he says, Oyasumi, good night, every fucking time. And then as he's dying on her, this grown man is dying on this small woman, he goes, say it to me now, because they are in full dom and submissive mode. And Inoue has enveloped him into her.
I hate that you reminded me of that. I hate this so much. I hate this whole thing.
Say what I've said to you the entire time. I was like, what the fuck is happening? What the actual fuck is happening? This is ridiculous. Why is Masahiro masturbating at me so badly?
No, he's not masturbating. He's blowing himself. It's so much worse. Worse.
At some point, he was probably doing both. I don't know.
The other hand is doing all kinds of strangeness. Just like
whipping around.
It's not like you're watching like this. You're watching like
my ass literally like this. What the fuck is happening? What am I watching?
Okay, so she gets the final Exodia leg, right? And it resets the world Zo style, where everything is restored and Shiako is alive. And Masahiro's like, he just appears and hands her phone and does the
I like how every single character has changed names like 4 times for this entire fucking podcast. Yeah. Her name is Shiori.
Whatever. Because they literally only say it 7 times. So like, blow me. But legitimately, she's just inserted at the end to show you that everything reset, because all she does is walk away with this bitch, and that's it. And then Masahiro's like, here's your phone. Something's wrong.
Because he runs into her like Ryuki style. So they pretty much do the Ryuki, spoiler, I guess. They do the Ryuki ending where they all kind of pass each other. And then Masahiro bumps into her and her phone falls. And he looks at her phone and doesn't see the Keitai Henka fucking app that he's been using the whole time to henshin. I don't know. I don't fucking know. Whatever. He doesn't see it. Oh, this is also, by the way, when he murders her, the final stamp comes down and the fucking origami thing comes out and just like flashes. And it saves the world, apparently.
Remember the geo reset? It was just the world's going.
Yep. So Masahiro doesn't see it. He doesn't see the fucking Persona 5 app on her phone, and he hands it back, and he's walking away, and Ren is fucking standing there, and I was like, oh, here's Ren's line. Here we go. And he just fucking like at him. He doesn't even. He like flares his nostril. That's it. Like, I smell your fart now. Get away from me.
And then he does fart because he grabs his stomach like, oh no, something's wrong.
No,
and then
he finds out he's in fucking bowel obstruction, and then he poofs away.
And you're like, what happened? And then all of a sudden, and I didn't even get a picture of her, like there's this female Makai Knight on a roof watching over this thing.
You mean
and
Ayuka?
Just like,
yep.
Woo!
I'm
obviously
putting money on that it's Ayuka. Yeah.
he is super pissed off about whatever the fuck he did, and is like trying to find a way where she can remember him. Watch be that kind of story where the PTSD Stockholm is just like full convergence on her. You know, like she's just like, I miss you, because he just needs that. You know what I mean? He needs somebody to go after him.
Also, the female suit was the worst suit in the show by far. That thing was terrible.
It's just boobs.
I don't know if there was the angle. I don't know if it was the angle. I don't know if it was whatever. That was by far the worst fucking suit in this show. Like, it's very clearly like not a female inside the suit, and that just made it look kind of weird.
I got straight up fucking Maleficent like design. Like they just straight up took the fucking Maleficent.
Oh, here we go. Okay, look, I got a screenshot here. Hang on.
Oh, no. Okay.
All right. Let me get a little snappity. Boop.
Man, I've calmed down. I think my anger has my anger has completely boiled over into despair. It's like, now that I realize that we're absolutely getting a second season, if Masahiro has anything to say about it, he will move heaven and earth, be Decade for the next 3 decades to get enough funds to do the second half of this shit. Watch. And you could tell not to be that guy, because I'm gonna be that guy. But Masahiro's getting there to the point where it's getting weird that he's doing this. You know what I mean? Like, seeing Agito is one thing.
Decade is now fucking almost 15 years old. Decade of all things.
Seeing him and then seeing another, like 2 other senpai riders with him was just, how does Ren look younger than him, bro? Like, how does Ren appear to be more youthful?
How did Ren go from like an okay Geats movie that was like fine, I guess, to whatever the fuck this is? So
this
like weird upshot of her looks awkward as hell. And I think it's the weird super boobs she's got going on in her suit. But I assume this is Ayaka. I also hate the face. This is the only one whose face I'm like, this is stupid.
I'm not digging it. But it's just, I think I got Maleficent vibes because I think it's a dragon. But I'm like,
I see that with the helmet. It looks very like her helmet kind of thing going on.
Yeah. But that's it.
Yeah. It just looked kind of awkward. So I wasn't a fan. But I was like, oh, that's absolutely fucking Ayaka in some alternate timeline version of her, whatever. Maybe it was the one that survived the reset. I don't know. You know, that kind of thing.
Hold on. I gotta see something here.
You put those numbers into a color picker, you get... Oh, that's what they are. Interesting.
What is it?
So, the name, the F8A whatever, is the color. It's the color on like a color wheel. So in like a Photoshop, like if you were to like eyedropper, that kind of thing, and select the color. That's the...
No, give me a minute here. Give me a fucking minute. You're telling me he named it after the shade on a dial?
Yeah.
Because
it's magenta.
Because...
Remember the original fucking teaser for this shit was magenta or pink.
They should have just called it that.
No, it's called Sentika F8A6, whatever the fuck. Okay, it's called that, and you're gonna fucking like it because this shit's super deep. Okay,
you're doing it on purpose. Now you're pissing me off on purpose with this show. Like, I thought that was just because they wanted to have like this trademark. No, it's literally just because it's clever to Masahiro. Yep. Listen, bro.
He definitely like saw a Kojima thing and was like, I can do that.
I forgive you for Decade because I actually kind of like Decade. But this...
You know what Decade's thing is? It wasn't written and probably directed by him. So this is written and directed by Masahiro, I'm pretty sure. So yeah.
I need a minute.
So like I said, this is on YouTube. You can check out Sentika Pink. Sentika Pink. I'm just gonna call it fucking Sentika Pink because it's crazy. Stupid. Yeah. So
it's like so much about this. I'm sorry. I can't, man. Like,
This is what happens when people with too much money do something very bad.
When you're never told no.
You know what this is? You know what this is? This is fucking Japanese Legend of the White Dragon. That's what the fuck this is.
Oh Lord, do you see that happening with that? Yeah.
It's the same thing. Let me get all my friends together and do this thing that's kind of like the thing I'm famous for.
That's obviously just my way to cope with the fact that I'm not doing it anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
R.I.P. Yeah. But holy shit, this is absolutely just Japanese Legend of the White Dragon. That's all this is.
I'm not saying that it can't be okay. I'm not saying that it can't be done okay. But if you're not going to do it okay, just don't do it.
It's not okay.
Just don't.
It's not okay.
You don't need it. You don't need to waste your money or time on it.
You know what this could have been? A really cool, like toy line. Like, he could have just made these suits, did some promotional things, maybe a couple scenes or two, just do the fight scenes, and be like, hey, I put out this new line of action figures. Check out our comic.
Shorts. Yeah.
Shorts. Yeah. Not whatever the fuck this was.
Not a short mess, because these are short, but this is not it, bro. This was not it. Like, you should have definitely and utilized Kamen Rider Knight. You should have.
He better have the dopest fucking suit ever when he engines.
That second season, he better like fucking just like dominate. Like, I can't be okay with this, bro. And the fact that he was okay was basically that he just took a paycheck.
Yep.
He's just like, what is this? What is this title?
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do?
Masahiro texted him and was like, I need you to do something, no questions asked. You owe me one. And he was like, shit, I do. Fuck.
Fine.
Yep. He was like, sure, period. And this is what they gave him.
It was bet. Bet.
It absolutely was a bet. He was like, they definitely bet on like which one would premiere in the Revice movie. And he's like, if you do, you have to be in my thing. And they like lost, and Masahiro clearly lost the bet to be in the Revice thing. So when Ren went back, he was like, okay, well, you got to be in my thing too then.
Fucking A, man. And
then Masahiro went, it was all according to my plan because I don't have bad plans. I know it all was happening all the time.
Actually, no, I thought I was going to be in that and I had no plan for you. So I'm just going to write you into my script and you're just going to be there. There you go.
And then, so like, I also like change with your cell phone and we have to collect the pieces of Exodia so that we can reset the world. But I need you to kill me.
Please.
Me. It's all about me.
Oh,
Masahiro Inoue.
I need you to do it just like that one too. Hold on. That's just like when Decade gets stabbed by Natsumi. Exact same stab.
Is it the exact same stab?
Yep. Decade killed by Natsumi.
Dang.
Oh yeah, that's how you spell it.
Close enough.
Yep. Natsumi.
I want everyone to go watch this to make sure, to validate that we're not fucking crazy if this is trash.
No, we're not.
Okay.
We're not. We can't be. We cannot be if the fact that all of these look, we've been, how do I put this? I've tried to be very forgiving with a lot of the shit that we watch. And a lot of the shit, especially with Geets right now.
We watched Zaborgar. We watched fucking Zaborgar.
That alone should put us in a class above everybody. Like, we did it.
That is all the more reason to believe when we say this is absolute dog shit. Okay? What? We watched fucking Zaborgar and had a great 2-hour conversation about it.
I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry.
I'm not sorry. Fuck this. Fuck this entire show. Fuck Jisariz. I don't want to say fuck Masahiro Inoue. He might be a cool dude. I don't know, but fuck whatever this is.
It's not. Yeah, legit. It's not about you. It's about what you think this was supposed to be versus what it is.
You know what? Fuck him fucking himself at me. That's what this is. At me. You are pointed in my direction doing whatever it is to yourself that you're doing, and I hate it. Please stop. I'm very uncomfortable.
It's true. It's really just
so
that.
True.
It's absolutely that. It's just, guys, we had fun. We're having fun making fun of it, of course. But we mean it. We mean it. It literally sucks the air out of you once you're done with it. You
Like,
don't waste your time. What didn't we say this about something else? We said the same shit. Do not waste your fucking time watching this unless you absolutely have time to waste. So, yeah.
it was probably fucking Zaborgar Bravestorm.
If you really don't have anything else going on and you're just curious and morbidly curious about torturing yourself, watch Masahiro fellate himself for 12 episodes and see how you feel about it.
Yep.
You tell me.
Roughly 120 minutes, by the way. Like you said, it could have just been a fucking movie.
It's when the second season comes out, we'll reconvene.
Yeah.
We'll go over the anger again, and I'm sure I'm gonna be
What's
even
up,
more
Ken?
pissed. What up, bro?
Yeah. This is. I just still can't get the image of him just masturbating and fellatioing himself at me. That's just all with his stupid little fucking like weave bands in his hair. Oh, everything. By the way, if you guys didn't notice, they all look like fucking raver kids, and that just adds to the whole level of cringe with this fucking thing.
They all have funny, goofy hair. They all have the fucking It's just straight up.
Even my boy, like I was just talking about the other day of how I enjoy a good Regent. This dude's fucking pompadour is the worst thing, the worst version of all of those realities. I hate it so much.
It's not a good look.
No, but like he's lucky he has. Oh my god, it has a smiley face on. Oh my! I just realized his fist has his fucking smiley face on it with a big dumb nose. I just realized that. Oh my god, I hate this show so much.
You also notice that he kind of, when you kind of squint, looks a lot like Ren.
Yeah.
That sucks.
That could have been Ren. You know who would probably happen? That probably was Ren. And then he went to do the Revice thing, and he's like, "Man, I recasted your role. Do you still want to be in the project?" And Ren was like, "Yeah, of course I do. Like, you're my homie. Sure, why not?" And then they were like, "Okay, I got the perfect role for you." And then he's just like holding flowers and this puzzle and whatever the fuck. And you know, time is running out. Let me posthumously read this book.
Dude, oh my god, this is so offensively bad. I need a week to calm down. I need a week to.
But the suits are cool, though.
Yeah. No, like even that. If they didn't have the skirts, they'd be cooler.
Yeah.
The Jamato skirts. These are Jamato skirts.
They're the fucking Jamato skirt.
Cause okay. So,
Kamen Yabai or Yabai Kamen or whatever's in it, though, guys. You could watch it for that.
Yeah, and he's kind of like a whole meta break that was welcome. So,
yep.
Go watch Dogengers.
Go. You should go watch Dogengers. That was actually kind of fun. Go watch Dogengers.
It's
a lot less of a waste of your time. I think it was around the same thing. I think it was 12 episodes, too. A lot better 12 episodes, honestly. A lot more fun, at least.
Way more fun. Less Masahiro.
Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like I was watching this show, being like, okay, this is bad, but like, I think I'm enjoying this. And then like half a second after I would think about literally anything, I would go, oh my god, that was the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. The only two things I genuinely enjoyed in the show was the Regent, Akito Regent. And like his fucking like desire for no desire kind of thing. I love that juxtaposition. That was cool. And the whole like I'm gonna relive this day because I am perpetual fuckingly depressed.
Yeah. Cool idea. It's bad execution.
Terrible fucking execution. But here's a sing-song number. So here you go. You did it. You did it, guys.
When we do it in Tokudon, I'm gonna do the same thing.
We're gonna sing that song, you know that, right? Yeah. Like we're singing that song now. There's no other option to it.
While we're fighting, it's just us singing it to each other.
We're gonna have it. We're gonna have dudes. We're gonna hire like action dudes to be in the suits fighting, and you and me are gonna stand on the steps awkwardly and just start belting while they're fucking fighting. And people are gonna be like, "But they're in the suits. Why are they there?" And we're gonna be like, "Don't ask fucking questions. Sing along, homie."
This because Masahiro Inoue to make this
because Inoue because fucking Masahiro Inoue. Oh my god, I'm so tired of talking about this guy already. This show sucks ass.
Sorry. Not sorry.
I'm not sorry. I'm glad. I'm glad we watched it. So you go and morbidly watch it, because I can't be alone in this suffering. Go watch this fucking show.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And specifically, come back and let us know how you feel about it.
Yes.
Please.
Where can they tell you about it?
You can tell us to come check it out at our Twitch. Excuse me. 2 things. Hold on, I choked on
Masahiro Inoue. He choked on Masahiro Inoue's jubilees.
Check out our Discord channel. Come check us out there. We always want to hear your opinions on this stuff, because we talk to each other all the time.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know how he's gonna feel about it before we start.
Oh yeah.
But there's this level. We haven't been here in a while, and this is fun.
Yeah.
This is fun. I haven't been this angry at a project
in
so long.
Not for Toku anyway. Not for fucking Toku.
We have been hyping up personal projects and championing fan films since we started this show.
And this one sucks fucking dick.
And I'm trying to say, like,
Inoue's own dick.
we get from people who are already successful is offensive. It's just offensive. You have all the means to make everything that you want to do decent, but you focus on fellating yourself, pleasing yourself.
You know why? Because it's all about me.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, we focus on projects that have like heart.
Oh, this has heart. This has heart.
No.
Yes, this has a lot of heart, and it's beating inside of the shaft of his own penis.
Fair. That's a fair point. Yeah. You can see it throbbing and everything. It has
you see the vein throbbing and everything. It is right there in your face, because Masahiro Inoue wants you to know this is what he thinks is cool.
In Morse code, it's tapping out, I miss being Decade so much that I will never be able to cope with anything else.
He's fapping to I miss being Decade.
Decade. Please let me be Decade one more time. No way. Otherwise, I'm going to make 3 more seasons of this shit out of spite.
Oh my god, I hate this show so much. Sentika, fucking magenta, pink, whatever the fuck. I'm not saying the numbers again. I refuse to do it.
We're done. Yep. So, other than that, I think that's good for today. Let's decompress. So,
I'm decompressed.
I want to show something really quick.
Okay.
Right? I'm a personal shill. Here, I'll do my tie-up. Guys, check out my TikTok. I'm doing a big transition of the YouTube channel that I have to the TikTok Toku shit, and it's been hell, but I've been having fun. I just released a new Tokyu pick, the Tokyu pick 3, which is Kiva or O's for the next Toku minute.
Okay.
I'm currently editing the Toku minute for Geo. It's just taking me a bit, but it's because how much we love Geo.
And I forgot to record it.
It's been a hell of a time. But we'll get there. But once I have that pumped out, you'll see it.
Yep.
My bad. The next one is O's versus Kiva, and I want to clarify this. It's not versus each other. It's for the next Toku minute, because I'm pretty sure. Actually, I don't even know who would take that. My bias says Kiva, but Garuru Saber can't handle Gata Kiriba like at all. So yeah, that's probably not happening. But anyway, all I'm saying is check out the rest of my TikTok stuff. We have a bunch of Toku minutes on there. I have a couple other U votes. Give me a couple weeks for the Geo Toku minute. Yeah. And other than that, catch me here on Sundays doing this nonsense with this maniac.
Yeah, I'm that maniac. Well, tomorrow, Monday, we typically do Street Fighter over on twitch.tv/KaijuCarl. I will not be there because I will be getting this bad boy colored in.
Nice.
So I will be finishing up some tattoo things. I will not be there because I will probably be fucking exhausted afterwards. If you've never got a tattoo, let me tell you, it is a very draining experience, but absolutely worth every second of it. So yeah, not going to do that, but we'll probably stream. We got to get back into some Soul Land, so we'll probably do that on Tuesday. Check out 40 to 50. I think we're on something like that. 41 to 50.
Already.
Yeah, already. And I think this is like prime into the tournament at this point. So we're gearing up for the big tournament, but they're going to be doing some of the battle arena for a while. So you can check that out. And then later in the week, we'll be playing more Baldur's Gate 3. Probably do that on Friday again, just because we had a lot of fun with that last week. And also, you know, the adventures of Carl and throwing things and hugging them. We'll see how that evolves. But yeah, we'll do that. And, you know, we'll be back here next Sunday doing fucking something. You can check out the YouTube channel. If you guys are watching this, you know where to find it because you're on the fucking YouTube channel. Just hit subscribe. We'll have more videos coming soon. I kind of hit like a wall in what to do. I know what to do. It's just a matter of doing them kind of things. Next video will most likely be the 1.1 patch for the Kamen Rider the Fighting Game video that we talked about a little while ago. And then I'm also working on some other content for the Kaiju Carl YouTube channel, which is not really set up or anything yet, but it's working there. I'm going to be doing some anime stuff and kind of balancing the two. So we'll see how that works. But stay tuned, and you can follow me on Twitter at Kaiju Carl. In the meantime, it's at Kaiju Carl on fucking everything. So if you want to find me, just hit me up there. You know, yeah.
Thank you guys. Thanks for coming. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening to the rants of madmen. So literally mad.